What's going on, everyone? It's Shane again from Saberbay, here with another video overview of our newly released Arenakin hilt. Arenakin is the saber inspired from Attack of the Clones, from the Geonosis fight that Anakin picks up a saber after he loses his. So the actual character that this is based on is Saesee Tiin. This is designed by Laredo Sabers, or Gustavo, some of you know him. He helped us design the GeonObi hilt, which is sort of the partner saber to this design here. And the wonderful box art, again, from our friend Christian Cruz, who always does an amazing job. It's very akin to the GeonObi box art style, except with the different background, still being very Geonosis inspired. So really happy with this one. I'm just going to go over a few things. Some of you guys may be receiving these who pre-ordered already. So just a brief overview. It's pretty quick. So unboxing, going to take that off. Got some foam here, and when you receive the hilt, it should look pretty much like this. It's going to be fully assembled. Have a little baggie of some extra parts. We'll go over what this is in just a minute. This is a extra blade plug piece. You can go ahead and remove your hilt from the box. Set that to the side. And you can see the fully assembled hilt, replica in all its glory. So went with a polished aluminum finish for the entire hilt, anodized black for the recessed areas throughout the hilt. Your sound venting down here at the pommel. When you receive it, it should have the static pommel in place. You have your single button. This is your switch actuator. There is a chassis inside here, so I'm not going to press that just yet, but cover tech wheel should be secured. And that is your hilt. So going over some minor specifics. There is not much not on the surface here, but we do have some neat things about this design. One is the hidden retention screw. So this section right here unthreads, and that slides off, and you'll find your blade retention screw right there. So we'll go ahead and take that out. Actually, I must have misplaced my... There we go. This is actually similar to what is included. I just forgot to put it back in the bag. So this is your static blade plug. And always make sure when you're unscrewing this retention screw that it's not sticking out, so that you don't catch any threads or any metal when putting this back. This accepts 1-inch blades. For chassis access, the best way is through the pommel. It's actually the only way. And I'll briefly show the chassis design. One of the two chassis designs that we have done for this hilt. This is going to be your standard non-crystal chamber option. I have mine already installed with CFX. Gonna set that to the side for now. Also going to show the midsection unthreads here as well, which will be much more useful for an example of a crystal chamber chassis. Both of these are designed by Derek Galinas. He's been doing a really great job designing some chassis. Now you may order your chassis in a different color variation. These chassis designs are going up on the website today as well, simultaneous with this video release. Now the same way that you would remove the chassis is the same way you would put it back in. Now all the chassis have a channel along this section right here, which is where your switch would go, and that aligns with this red plunger. So to insert Go like that. And because this is not installed and does not have a speaker connected at the moment, this particular chassis will move, which would not be the case with one once you have it all put together with all the parts and the speaker. But you can see with this sort of configuration, having the chamber exposed is really neat if you want to leave that on display. So you can actually see the chamber without having to take it out of the hilt. Just like so. So that's what you would expect to see if you had the crystal chamber set up in this hilt. Otherwise, the basic chassis design is also a really good option. Go ahead and set that to the side. So here are other examples of the basic chassis. So one thing I will point out just for clarity on the video, when I installed this one, I had forgotten to put a kill switch here. So just be mindful that that is accommodated for, that is supposed to be right in that slot here. This is what you would expect to see more or less if you had this fully installed. Now I have this one outfitted with the OLED as well as Bluetooth. So I will also show that in the basic chassis design, it comes with not only the fully removable piece, but there is a cover right here that can pop off. What you would use to cover up the Bluetooth module. It's also optional. You don't need to use this. You also don't need to put a Bluetooth module or anything else in there. You could simply have it for looks. You can put other accent LEDs in there for illumination. It's just a nice decorative piece. Actually, let's see if we can boot this up.
Sound bank selection.
Sorry if that was loud. This is a very loud speaker. So if you have all the bells and whistles like the OLED and the Bluetooth, you can see it's blinking because it is active. This covers just about everything that you need in a build. And of course, single button function. Let's go ahead and slide this into the hilt. Put the pommel on, and then for this one, we're going to go ahead and put the hilt fully back together. Very nice and loud. Okay, one last thing also before we go, the blade plugs. You get one blade plug with two different caps. The one that is already installed is your static, and it will look somewhat different than the other one that is included, which will allow for some shine through. So to swap this out, basically all you need to do is unthread this off. There is threading on this piece and matching threads on the polycarbonate tube. And swap it with this. You can thread that on. It will be slightly difficult, especially for me with fat fingers. So what I do is I take the extra screw that comes with it. It's this black screw. And we're actually going to use that to help turn it. So once it fully tightens on the metal piece, it will then tighten the rest of it. So this allows for some shine through. And you can kind of line this up where you want it to be so that it's flush. Find the blade retention screw. And then slide that collar back on. So mine fell down just a little bit, but just want to show you guys the illumination. So that is the FX blade plug option. So like I said, for those who pre-ordered, you should be getting these in the mail pretty soon. If you have not ordered one and you're on the fence, hopefully this video gives you some more insight about the details of this hilt, the chassis options, and what you can expect for your unboxing experience. If you guys have any other questions about this hilt or something that wasn't covered in the video, please feel free to shoot me a message or an email, or simply reach out on Facebook, and I will be sure to get back to you guys with anything that you may have as far as questions. And thank you again for our partner at Laredo Sabers, Gustavo, and again, our friend Christian Cruz for the wonderful box design. And thank you guys for another successful run. Hope to see you on the next video.